Life can be incredibly loud. Between the endless responsibilities, the stress, and the daily grind, sometimes the loudest place in the world is inside our own minds. When that mental static builds up, it's hard to focus, it's hard to breathe, it's hard to find your footing. You don't have to carry that weight alone. It's time to quiet the static. Welcome to Head Noise, a live stream dedicated entirely to mental health, brought to you by Unscripted Productions. Our sole purpose? To help you quiet the noise. We're here to share stories, offer support, and help you find your stability in a chaotic world. Join the conversation and be part of the community. Tune in live or watch later on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Head Noise. Let's clear the static together.
All right. What an introduction, eh? No, I'm just joking. That's my new intro in case you're just like, it's awesome. Anyway, I'm too proud of things I create. I think that's my problem. Anyway, now welcome to another Head Noise Mental Health podcast. I have the wonderful Amber V. She is in Canada. It's late. She's committed. She's ready. She's going to have this conversation. But before we get started, before we get into the nitty gritty of everything, Amber, tell us a little bit about yourself, because some of the people who are watching haven't read the YouTube description because they're not watching.
What?
Yeah, I know,
So
right?
I'm over in Ontario, Canada. So yeah, it's 10 o'clock at night, Phil. Look at me. But I mean, as a perimenopausal woman, I don't really sleep anyway very well. So
Fair enough.
So I am a nurse, and I myself had a moment where I felt like I needed assessment. I wasn't doing well. And I, like I do, went down a rabbit hole and recognized that I was going through perimenopause. I needed to talk about this. I needed it. I noticed my friends were feeling the same. So I created an environment on Instagram where I could share my journey, share my stories, and other people could as well, because people don't know what this is. Women especially, when this comes on.
I certainly don't know what it is.
So
I mean, I try and avoid that time of the month, generally speaking. I'm divorced now, so I get to avoid it all the time.
Well, that makes sense, because you avoided. You gotta learn, Phil. You gotta learn.
Yeah, no.
And what a change too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's wild.
It is wild. I interrupted you a little bit, but I'll give the short version because you gave it to me. Midlife Transition Strategist, writer, and founder of She Comes First. 20 years in psychiatric and public health nursing. She blends science, humor, and raw storytelling to help women navigate perimenopause, desire, identity shifts, and the mental load that's burning them out. Wow. So that's a big paragraph, first of all. The She Comes First is an amazing brand dedicated towards women, I guess, is the best way to describe that. It is and all that goes along with that. 20 years in psychiatric and public health nursing. You've seen it all, you've done it all, and you're using that as like something in your toolbox to really
clinical knowledge, right? So it's clinical knowledge, so I can understand when I learn about this, because even as a nurse, this was not something I knew about, or anything I studied, obviously, and lived experience, which I think is really important to people. It's, people want to be able to relate to people, right? Because they feel alone. They feel so alone, and that's why I thought I'm just gonna be loud about it. I'm just gonna be loud because this is scary. It's a scary time.
Why not? Everyone else is loud, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So Amber, I'm going to ask a question that I like to ask almost every guest that I have on here. What does it look like? What does this journey look like for some of your, I don't know whether to call them clients or patients or whatnot, but like this perimenopausal kind of shift or journey, I guess you can call it. What does that look like? Because honestly, as a As a 41-year-old man, I have not a clue in the world.
Right, Phil? And we know. And it's true. So you don't know, especially so women that are just now dipping their feet in because it's being talked about. We're really hoping that our men and our boys can learn a little bit about it.
Right.
This journey is it's wild. It's just one day you start feeling off. One day your hormones, specifically estrogen, just starts going
Mm.
wild. And estrogen, that helps our mood, our sleep, our libido, like everything. So when this is going up and down, we shift and we shift a lot.
And how
So
does this differ from your usual,
yeah,
life
yeah. So
imbalances that I guess happen?
first, our usual, yeah, I know. That's what it feels like.
So
Yeah, no,
I didn't
it's
mean to say it like
no,
that,
no,
but
no,
you know what I mean. Like,
hurting.
you've got your time of the month, that kind of stuff.
Yep,
And you've
yep.
got like when you've just had a baby or before
Mhm.
baby, it's like
Yeah.
you've got like women go through so many different phases, I guess you can call it, that it's
Yeah,
like
our body chemicals changing
it's
and differing.
it's constant. So tell me,
Mhm.
like, how does that like this perimenopausal journey, how does that differ from what is the quote unquote norm, I guess?
Yeah, for sure. So, we have a constant flow of estrogen in our bodies when we're before let's just say when we're pre-perimenopausal. Um, it's a
Okay.
good flow, right?
Right, right.
And that's such a softening hormone, so little things we can just throw off our shoulders. It's not a big deal. It just helps us regulate. It helps with our
Mhm.
stress response. Like when you're pregnant, you have more estrogen. So imagine after you give birth, your estrogen crashes.
Right.
That's why a lot of women also, you know, they suffer with like postpartum, right? Because
Yes, big time, yeah.
yeah, so your estrogen crashes and we're just lucky as women that we get to go through all these different estrogen changes over our lives.
Mhm.
And everyone experiences it differently. Like, there's not, women don't just have this base, this is what happens in perimenopause. It depends on your everyday, your life, your
Right.
stress levels. It really, your body, there's, everyone differs. And there's so many symptoms that sometimes you don't even know, are you unwell for one reason or are you going through perimenopause? So it's really tricky.
Right, right. And I mean, I guess for women who don't know what to expect, this is just another really?
Right? Well, especially after 40, because, in life, women are told, okay, you do your teenager thing, you find
Right,
your partner, and then you get your college, and you go get your job, and then you get married, and then you have babies, and and then that's it for you. Like, bye. Like, there's
yeah,
nothing even representing people in their 40s, really. Even in the
right,
media, movies, TV, there's
right.
hardly any representation of our age. You're in it too, Phil.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
thanks for reminding me.
Right.
Um, yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. There's a gross misrepresentation of mental health past your anything honestly 35 on,
Yep,
you're toast as far
yep.
as the community is
I
concerned.
know.
You're not really catered to. Now, I
Mhm.
say that very loosely as well because there are the apps, you have your mental health apps and you have all this stuff, but really nothing that is specific enough to be able to deal with this particular problem.
Yeah, and I know obviously you were very techy, Phil. Obviously you do well at that. But even our age group, there's apps for mental health. We still struggle navigating some technology because we're in that kind of
Right.
middle generation, right?
Right.
So we wouldn't even think half the time to go and look for an app. And
Right.
men have hormone changes too. You know that, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, totally. You know that.
Mhm. Mhm.
So like men, they get their like peak testosterone, late teens, early 20s, and then at about 30, it starts to slowly decline. So it's probably about 1% a year. And men in their 40s and early 50s, that's when they start really recognizing that they're losing that testosterone. So in partnerships with a male and a female duo, you're going through all these significant like chemical changes in your brain together. It's it's mean. Like 75% of
Mm.
divorces, they're filed by women between the ages of 40 and 45.
Yeah, and having just gone through divorce recently myself, mental health is a big reason for a lot of these breakups, a
Mhm.
lot of these instances of
Absolutely.
fragmentation, I guess you could
Mhm.
call it. And it's not necessarily that either party is different than when they started the relationship. It's that the emotions and the communication and everything that was once like such a rush, like it was like it's just not there anymore. And so we're faced with normality, and then normal is no fun. And yeah, the communication piece falls apart, and we're just kind of there.
So, Phil, I
Um,
I wanna say that you said, like, that no one really changes. The fucked up thing about perimenopause is that it literally changes the chemicals in your brain. You
right,
change, women change, and I think that's also another piece of, that huge divorce rate in our age group is that women turn into a different person. They can't serve as much as they had before. They can't take on,
right.
they can't carry, and sometimes that's a big struggle for our partners to like, to deal with, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, the struggle is always, for me, communication is the basis of
Mhm.
a
Yeah,
lot of these issues, right? If we're
big
if
time.
we're being completely honest, whether it be suicidal tendencies, whether it be perimenopausal stuff, whether it be whatever you're going through,
Mhm.
if you're with your partner, communication, what you're going through is probably the first step to kind of dealing with it as a couple, right?
Right,
But understanding what you're going through has to come first, and I think that's where you come in, because
yeah,
people just don't. Like,
they don't.
I've never heard of perimenopause, and you could be like, "Phil, really?" Like, it's everywhere. Like,
I'm judgy Phil.
I could be, accused of being under a rock, but realistically, I've never been confronted with it, so I've never had the chance, or been in front of it to understand it, or be told about it, really.
Yeah, you didn't think you had to learn about it. You weren't taught to learn about it. You weren't taught to recognize it either, right? So so you are 41, you said, Phil. Like, you are just learning, so we're hoping that this is where the conversation comes in, and this is where we can teach
Right,
our boys, right? Or even our girls to know about it.
right.
And it really sucks for partnership. It really sucks
Hmm.
because all of a sudden we're putting this on our partner saying, "Learn about this because I am different and you need to support and you need to step
Yeah,
up."
yeah.
All hitting at once. It's
It's
heavy.
like it's like, "Hey, you just took 10 years, 13
Mhm.
years, however long to get to
Yep.
know me. Guess what? You gotta do that again, because I'm a different person now."
I just thought of it,
Um,
Phil. Remember you were talking about being bored and, like, normalcy and, like, you just couldn't fight through
yeah,
that?
well, now you got a
You
whole
have
new
a
reason
whole
to
new.
reinvigorate your relationship
Yes,
with
totally.
perimenopause.
Yeah. Well, and
Um,
libido, some women get an increased libido. Most get a lower, but some
so, hey, you could be one of the lucky ones.
totally. You gotta earn it, Phil. Gotta earn it.
Right, right. So, Amber, tell me, like, what are the identifying markers of this perimenopause, I guess,
Sure, yeah.
condition? Like, I don't,
There's probably I think there's been 84 marked symptoms of perimenopause. Because, like I said.
because first of all, before we go down the 85, like
Yeah, I'm not, yeah,
much like COVID, we don't want to be like, hey, just because you have a few doesn't mean you have it. Make sure you go and seek help and
totally,
get it,
yeah, yeah. This
all
is
that
not
stuff.
medical advice.
Um, but like the biggest piece of this is just to help people identify it,
Mhm.
because you may have it. You might be like, "Oh, I'm always feeling low. I don't know what's going on with me lately. I'm tired all the time. I must be depression. Like, that has to be it." And then you got this misdiagnosis going on as well because you're not taking care of yourself,
Yeah,
which a lot of people don't. They don't prioritize their own mental health or their own health.
right.
So tell me those symptoms and
Sure, yeah.
how they can how even partners can help identify them as
Sure,
well.
yeah.
You know?
So I'll kind of give you the basic, not basic ones, but the ones that are most predominant in women.
Okay.
So we start off something like brain fog. So, you're at a restaurant and you're trying to order and you know what you're getting, and then all of a sudden you're like, you just can't remember. Or you walk into a room and
Mhm,
you have no idea why you walked in there, but then it starts happening more and more and more. It's very frustrating. So
mhm,
even just your menstrual cycle will change. It can
mhm,
start being heavier, it could start being lighter, it could start being way longer. So that, there's things like itchy ears most of the time. Like your ears are itchy and you can't understand why, right?
mhm.
Breast tenderness, that's pretty normal in perimenopause. There is rage, just kind of rage out of nowhere. You
Rage out of nowhere?
Yeah, sorry.
Amber,
Well,
like,
it's not out of nowhere, it's something that we could have just blown off before. We would, because we're softer with more
for
estrogen.
some men, that's just another end of the month thing where they gotta spend the week down the pub, you know?
Yeah, and maybe you just should, maybe, because, like,
Maybe.
if you are not picking up that, like, we need some support, go to the
Right.
fucking club, get out of here. Get
Yeah,
out of here,
yeah. Right, right,
right?
right. Exactly.
So, there's just changes that are obvious, significant. You your libido, like I said, sometimes it increases, and these men are like, "What?" Or it can increase for a week, and then,
Yeah.
they're all jacked up, feeling good, and then
Right.
the women are like, "Ew, no, no, you're not doing anything." And
Right.
women, it's not a performative thing anymore.
Mhm.
They want they want to feel valued and desired, and they want good sex. They want
Of
good
course.
sex. They're not just gonna perform for men again, you know? So, men have to kind of rework in that as well. The hot flashes, that's when people talk about menopause, they always think hot flashes,
Right.
and that's very real.
Yeah.
There's I on my Instagram page, you can see they have, like, Raynaud's, so, like, my tips will go white
Uh-huh.
from touching something a little bit cold. It's there's so many, but, like, those are kind of the basics where most women would recognize. And moody, bit
And
moody.
and, like, is there things out there, like, for example, women who are like, "Yeah, that's me. That's me.
Mhm, mhm.
I'm tired of this shit. How do
Yeah.
I not do this anymore?"
Yeah,
Like,
well,
is there,
yep.
like,
So there is
is there
HRT,
medical
there's
intervention that can
hormone
help?
replacement therapy is, an option, definitely. But I mean, there's still tons of roadblocks for women,
Yeah.
because doctors, like, do you know how much time they spend on, just a family doctor in medical school, how much time they spend on hormone health?
You're gonna tell me something and I'm gonna shake
No,
my head.
no, because it's not really anything. It's not.
It's like 5 minutes.
Yeah, and even I have a female doctor, and she's lovely, and I said, "I'd like to start talking about, my perimenopause," and she's like, "Perimenopause? No, that's just a part of aging." So, yes, because she's younger than me, so I was just like, "Mhm, you wait, you
It's
wait."
just a part of
Mm,
aging.
yeah,
Hey, yeah.
so
Alright. Cool.
sometimes actually, a lot of women tell me that their doctors are very dismissive of them. So, a lot of the times, anxiety, huge in perimenopause, even if you've never suffered with it before. I got hit by that hard. I had no idea this is what people dealt with
Do you think
anxiety.
do you think that the perimenopause, basically is where we were with mental health maybe 10 years ago, where, um, not enough people are making, putting a focus on it, so then, like, the doctors are really just like, "Ah, yeah, it's kinda like mental health 10 years ago." It's like, "Ah, suck it up, come on." Like,
Or just here's some pills. So,
yeah.
women get assessed and they think they're anxious and depressed, so they get medicated for that, right?
Yeah, they get medicated for depression when in
Yeah,
reality, that's not
yeah.
helping because you're not
No.
addressing
Yeah,
the core
but it
problem.
shows up the same, so doctors are
Yeah,
trained to
right,
see anxiety, depression. So,
right.
there's a lot of women that have said to me that their doctors say, "No, you're too young for HRT," or "Your periods aren't messed up yet, so no." like they say, no, 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 you can't have it,
Mm,
which blows my mind
right.
because women, with some doctors, you have to advocate so hard
Hmm.
for your health. So I'm in Ontario. We have Ontario Health Insurance Plan, so OHIP. So we have a lot of our medical stuff, you know, paid for from our
Right.
community, from the
Right.
taxes.
Right.
But HRT in women, that is not covered by OHIP. Sometimes you can get testosterone or progesterone if it's a libido issue because we got to fuck our men, right? Like that's what's covered because like Viagra's covered too, right? If it's a sex issue, but like HRT is not, and it's not
Wait,
cheap.
hold on, hold on.
Yep.
Viagra's covered. Sorry,
What?
what?
Yes, like the blue pills for sure
I'm
for
sorry.
libido.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
For those who are unfamiliar with what public healthcare looks like,
Yep.
I grew up with it, and Amber is describing it right now. And essentially, the when we say public healthcare, the government or whoever is running the health
Yep.
organization at the
Yep.
time get to decide what is the area of focus, let's say.
Yeah, that we
Um,
pay for.
what's covered, what's not. They're
Mhm.
basically your insurance carrier that we all hate insurance carriers in
Totally,
America.
yeah, yeah,
It's kind of like one of those things where something's covered, something's not, and you're like, why? Why is that
yeah.
covered and that's not covered? That's
Oh,
crazy. It doesn't make any
yeah.
sense. But unfortunately, to change it in public healthcare, you have to lobby the government, which is basically worthless. So,
Well, and the change takes so long, right?
right.
Like, I know right now we're trying to get like, our nurse practitioners cannot bill to OHIP, and they're
Mhm.
amazing, they're so thorough, they're so great, but they can't bill to OHIP. So, something, you know, someone who maybe have more training, like, say, a naturopath in hormones, that's not covered.
Mm.
So if you want to find, a multidisciplinary team to take care of your body as a woman, that's going to cost a lot of money that right now we all know this economy, people just don't have money to throw away, even though it would be so beneficial for us with our health as women. We are not our first priority when we have families.
Awesome. That's awesome. That's,
And
that's yeah. So, okay, so let's change the track a little
let's
bit.
go. Let's roll. Yep.
Um, what are we doing to fix it? What are we doing? And specifically, I'm going to say, what are you doing? Because this is the part where we kind of shift towards we've identified what it is, what it looks like, and now I really want to talk about what Amber is contributing and how you this brand that you've developed and you're working with to make an impact on the community that is suffering from this stuff. So
So
you have a website, shecomesfirst.ca, which I have in front of me right now, and I will share it in just a moment. But tell me a little bit about the brand, what went to what kind of well, we kind of know where it came from, but what really inspired you to go that route with it?
yeah, so Phil, I'll give you the kind of quick and dirty. Um, all of a sudden I felt different. I felt off. I really debated on getting assessed. I didn't understand what was happening to me. It's so frustrating and it's scary and you feel gross. You're like, because you can't help, you can't explain it, you don't understand. So, in partnerships, that leads to butting heads a lot.
Oh yeah.
And you feel dumb. You just feel dumb almost because you're like, what the fuck is happening to me? What is happening? And I I was scared. I was
Mm,
scared because a lot of my thoughts were racing. A lot of my feelings were, "Oh my gosh, do I like this? Do I want this? What the hell am I doing with my life? What the fuck?" Like, it was a huge transition that I didn't know. Well, I didn't know what was happening, right?
right,
So
right.
once I started learning about it, I thought, "Fuck, my friends are going through this too," and I feel terrible that I didn't even know how to support my friends through it. So I just thought, right now I can't access traditional therapies. So what do I want to do? I want to talk about it. I want to see if other women are feeling this way because there's, stigma, shame in mental health. there's
Right.
so much, crazy that no one wants to say how they're feeling out loud when they're feeling different because of that stigma. So I wanted to essentially provide a place where women and men can talk out loud and support and learn and not feel alone. That
Right.
was the huge part, not feeling alone. So I put like on my stories and stuff, I'll always put polls or I'll ask questions just to kind of gauge where people are. So many women have reached out to me. I offer like either workshops or one-to-one clarity sessions. So when women are in this space, they start questioning their job, they start questioning their marriage, they start questioning their friendships. And it's really confusing for women once they learn about perimenopause because is it my hormones that are feeling this way? Or is
Right.
this actually based in reality? And now they're just coming out a lot more like just
Mm.
my poor husband, when all this started happening, like 17 years of all the swallowed resentment, all the things, that I've done, and I just let it go. Oh, one night,
He's
it
your
just
current husband, right? Just to clarify that.
it was oh, I just word vomited and shit on him, and we never really fought before. We were
Right.
very gentle with each other, and ooh, that so
Wow.
that changed it's changed our dynamic huge.
Right. Um, well, I mean, credit to you for identifying what was going on and creating this brand. So how do people connect with you? How do we you're now pretty much an advocate. You're pretty much for the want of a better term, you're helping treat the issue by educating people on how to navigate this. Um
You got
what
it.
is what does that look like for someone who's saying, "You know what? This is exactly what's going on in my life right now. I
Mhm.
need to contact Amber." Like,
Yeah,
what does that experience look like
sure,
from
yeah.
you?
So, a lot of it is shared experiences, so there's obviously confidentiality agreements from the top.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm okay with sharing experiences with these women,
Mhm.
validating their experiences.
Right,
A lot of times I'm recognizing that when I'm sitting with these women, there's a lot of dark and a lot of shame coming out. And I
right.
I hold that safe. I'm curious, I wanna learn, and I just don't judge. I mean, you can't murder someone and tell me and me be like, "This would be amazing." I can put myself in your
But
shoes.
Amber,
I
he's
know, I
buried in the
know.
backyard. I wasn't
Oh,
come
but then I'd
on.
be like, "Okay, wait, let me put myself in their shoes and see." I just
Yeah,
can't do that
right,
part,
right,
but so
right,
I'm very good at conversation with women as well and pulling out these things, so it's not surface conversation,
right,
it's real and it's deep, and I'll hold that for them, I'll hold that space for these dark and shame, and a lot of women will leave a session with me just feeling heard, feeling lighter, feeling not so alone, having the strength to advocate for what they need as well, because that's a big part of it
right.
too, you know?
Validation and feeling heard are two of the main reasons that marriages break up. Um,
Yeah.
that's unfortunately I learned this after my divorce. But obviously the other side of it too is that I wasn't in the mental headspace to be able to even contemplate what that looked like because I had not dealt with my own mental health issues. So, um,
Men aren't supposed to. You men are supposed to tough it out, and there's that,
and
you know,
that's
and
and that's really that's the stigma that is something that obviously everybody in the mental health industry is trying to break because suicidal tendencies and things of that nature are a mega 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 thing right now. They're a huge topic of conversation. There's
uh,
something that come up on more often than anyone would hope for, with Ireland leading the way, unfortunately, in suicides per capita, which basically means if we're gonna the ratio of men living in the country versus the like and the men that are actually having this happen.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it's scary. It's
There's a
the
yeah,
highest in the world at the moment. So
there's that male loneliness epidemic, right? So as men age, they start losing those bonds, those strong friendships with people, and they end up losing their friend pool, their friend base, and they may not have close friends anymore because everyone kind of moves on with their life, and it's already hard enough for men to talk to each other, but when you start losing friends, you don't reach out, there's some pride in that. You don't
right,
you feel like you're the only one, so you don't talk about it, and
right,
it's not typical that men would sit and talk about how they're feeling with each other, which is something
agreed,
we like you said, we need to
agreed,
change, right?
agreed.
And because even it's beneficial for partnerships, it's beneficial for fatherhood, but there's still this societal piece to it that men need to be tough and just not talk about how they feel, and it's fucking
Yeah.
detrimental to a lot of pieces.
Well, yeah, you kind of hit the nail on the head. It's really it affects so many things in a detrimental way. It gives
Mhm.
you the incapacity to be able to share your feelings with your significant other. It means that when they're opening up and telling you how they feel and what's going on, you don't have that capability because you've never done that. You've never been in a position where you can actually communicate in that way, and so it's this they're hitting a brick wall and it isn't fun, and that's
No.
when literally the relationship starts to like falter, let's say.
Yeah, it starts to
um
crumble. Yep.
this isn't where it completely dies, of course. If you're in that situation and you're starting to feel like you cannot communicate in such a way to your partner where you can't reciprocate what the energy that they're giving you, um now's the time to go and seek some help, like talk to somebody, but also make them aware that you're talking to somebody. Show them that the effort is being made to actually fix or put right the issue that is therein, which is you unable to communicate your feelings.
Yeah.
This isn't an uncommon thing.
No,
Unfortunately, as
no.
men, we're raised to be the tough hunters,
Yeah.
the ones that go out and just beat our chest and everything bounces off us.
And
The
the protectors, right? And
and the protectors, and the
let's be
reality
honest
is
though.
that is not what the
Thank you.
that is
Yeah,
not
that's
what happens, and so
mm-mm.
it feeds into the perimenopausal, the whole thing all interconnects because when you cannot identify your own feelings, you can't identify feelings in anyone else. And so when somebody comes to you saying, "Hey, I'm having this shift, this incredible thing happening physiologically and mentally, where not only they don't understand it, they're going to seek help, and they're being told, 'Hey, you got depression,' or 'Hey, they don't even know." Um, if you're not able to like identify your own self stuff, then you're really, unfortunately, you're in a dark place, and that's when relationships crumble because
Absolutely,
y-
yeah, and
the
like you said, Phil, there's you can go online, you can find an app, but
oh,
it's
100%.
is it that men don't have even the words to express? Maybe they can't even actually express how they're feeling, like, that's really tricky. They know they feel off, but identifying it may be a different thing for a man. I'm not
Yeah,
sure. Women are allowed to be soft. Women are allowed to be vulnerable.
yeah. So typically, and you can agree or disagree, typically women are more communicative about their emotions. And that historically has always been the case because it ties into being the mother, the
Yeah.
nurturer. The Because as men we don't do that typically, and some of us do.
For
Like
sure.
me,
Yeah.
I've been very lucky. I've had parents that are very communicative about their feelings, about all that stuff. So I was able to communicate that stuff, but still there was always that stigma, right? Because
Mhm.
you can't be depressed. What's wrong with you?
Oh, yeah.
Sure, buck up. You're fine. Don't even worry about it.
Mhm.
And that's literally where the line is drawn, is where you you're in this kind of rock and a hard place where you're like, okay, I know something's up, but like, what does that look like? Well, I can tell you now, there are so many apps out there, right? That you can download, you can have a subscription. But also, 85% of the American public who are in a 9 to 5 job or any kind of a corporate job,
Mhm.
they have a medical plan that most likely offers that as a free service.
Right.
So look into that. Like your
Yeah.
employers are not advertising this as much as they should, and it's something that is a huge passion of mine because I discovered it and was like, why are we not like screaming this from the rooftops? This is
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
I was able to get 14 free sessions a year. I'm like, that's one a month. Are you kidding me? And then a couple for when I'm having worse months. Like that's incredible. That's an
That's
amazing
great.
coverage.
Yeah.
So why
But
on
it
earth
depends
would
on the
you?
company for you, right? Like, OHIP, there's some therapies that it covers, but not all of it.
Yeah. And I
And
mean,
then
when you
you're
when you
waiting.
think about it, it's so simple. Like it's minimal investment on their part because 90% of the stuff is like web apps, like what we're
Yeah.
doing. It's a conversation like this right now where you're like, hey, I feel like crap.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
and sometimes maybe if you're not even willing to do that, like talk to a friend. Talk to somebody that's you feel comfortable talking
Mhm.
to
And
because
listen,
that
did you
is a
see
great first step.
Oh, big time.
That is a massive first step. Being able
Mhm.
to articulate it to your friend is one step closer to being able to articulate it to a mental health professional.
Big time,
Um,
and your friend will probably come back with similar if they feel that it's a safe space to
yeah.
do that, right? They probably, especially men, I see, I don't, it's hard because I'm not a man, I have a partner, I've been with him 17 years, but I see him not being able to express.
Right.
Some men also, they're just so fearful of expressing their emotions to their friends because, like you said, like, "No, you're not allo you don't have that, you don't have that, that's nothing."
Hmm.
So there's also that, again, the stigma of, expressing that you feel off. There's a huge that stigma, right? And especially with the men, the masculine, the
Hmm.
brave, the protectors. You just We need to start telling men that you need to feel and you need to teach your boys to feel. You need to teach your boys,
Right.
or else we're just
Right.
gonna keep doing the same.
Right. 100%. Let's circle back to where we began with this, which was talking about the experience for the person that comes to visit you. You start off with identifying, some of the little traits that are there,
Mhm.
the signs, the signals that are,
Yep.
hey, you are, unfortunately, you're suffering from perimenopause, right? Um,
You can't
what?
diagnose. Don't
Right,
diagnose.
right.
Sounds like it could be,
Sounds like it could be. Gotcha. You're very right. We gotta be careful with the verbiage.
especially as a
Um,
nurse, I have to be very careful.
100%. So now that you've identified or potentially identified, what are the next steps?
Well, perimenopause, it's supposed to last 7 to 10 years.
Jesus.
So
Okay. Well,
mhm, mhm,
let's
mhm, mhm.
stop there for a moment.
Yeah,
7 to 10 years is a long time.
yeah.
So you've just found out, hey, I might have perimenopause.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
And you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna go and see Amber, and maybe she might help me, and she might be able to fix this. No,
No.
no, she's gonna give you the tools potentially to deal with it.
And to deal with it better and in a safe space, and almost like a reminder that you could talk to people about it. We need
Right,
to. We need if ever because everyone's feeling the same, so let's talk
right,
about it.
right. It's kind of like walking with a limp, right? At first, it's a pain in the ass, but then you kind of learn to walk with the limp. It's not a big deal.
Right?
Um,
And
and
and your
so,
partners hopefully learn too, and then you
yeah,
get some stuff off
yeah.
your plate as a woman,
And
hopefully.
and if you're with someone like me, I just kick you in the other leg, and then you're walking evenly. You don't have a limp anymore. I'm joking. I'm
Amazing.
joking. I'm
I'm
joking.
joking, I'm joking. Oh,
Anyway, all right, let's
yeah.
take a look at your website because I want to make sure people know what it looks like. Let's do this here. Hold
My
on.
impressive. I made that by myself.
Made it all by yourself.
Totally, totally.
All right.
I'm just gonna give it a shot.
Where she blows. All right, we start off at the beginning. She comes first. .ca. I love the logo. Like the logo is
Thanks.
awesome. Like
Thank
it's
you.
you. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
you, but it's what they call a minimalistic logo that's impactful. I like that.
Yes,
Very nice.
exactly. Well, but the thing is I can never grow my bangs out now, so
Oh well,
that's it. Yep, that's it.
or you can change your logo, but we won't talk about this just yet.
Right, yeah, not yet, not yet.
We have many ways to communicate. In fact, when I first got on the website, look at that. It's like, hey, what's up?
Hi.
You want to talk?
Yeah.
I have a
Trying to grab him
question.
right away before
I
it
have a
sinks in if
question.
you're too nervous.
And then it lets you do all that. So this is very intuitive, very easy to use. Um, there's loads of things. There she is. Look, that's her.
Hello.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Confidential conversations, face to face or through Zoom. Your stories will be heard, validated, and respected. Pretty much what we were just talking about. I'm pretty sure that's a pic you sent me for the promo for
Might
this
have been
show.
this was like a
Yeah.
little shoot that I did, so it's probably similar, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's nice. We hold circles, lead retreats, and speak to groups, offering deeper opportunities for connection, transformation, and for people to bring their own truths to the surface in ways that feel safe and empowering. Um, and then okay, let's go back here. And then there's communication. How we join the conversation on Instagram. You won't regret it. Join the conversation. Become part of a midlife community on Instagram. Um, Listen, you don't know if it's midlife, okay?
I
It
know.
could be like they could live to 120. You don't know.
Yeah, with modern medicine, I think about that all the time.
We say midlife now, and it's like I don't know. Maybe it's not midlife anymore.
Well, and generally, midlife when people were identifying as midlife, they were in their 50s, 55, almost 60. That's if you kinda Google old midlife stuff, that's what it was, and then I realized, no, we're in midlife. This is you don't feel as like, you don't recognize that you are at that mid stage, and I don't know, Phil, if you feel this way, but a lot of people are starting to contemplate the next half of their lives, how they wanna live the next half of their lives.
Oh yeah, for sure,
It's
100%,
yeah, and now that you've
one
done
hundred
all the
percent. I
things
want to
you're
win the
supposed
lottery, but it's
to
never
do.
going to happen if I don't buy a ticket. So that's part of
Oh,
the problem.
I know,
Um,
I'm gonna win it too. I'm gonna win it too.
um, so okay, we've gotten to this part of the page. Again, very these are the websites that I love the most. Because they're very simple. Everything's to the
Goodbye.
point. There's not like 15 million pages that you got to connect into. And oh, well, yeah, I never saw that part because I didn't see it because I didn't read it. I was just it's very minimalistic, very easy to understand. You can connect at the very bottom. And then just because I like doing these kind of things, I'm going to share. Oh Lord, look at me sharing. Oversharing again. All right. This is Instagram. There she is, everybody. She comes first. .av. Amber Venner. You'll see her there. 248 posts, and this is the photo. So make sure that you get in there right now. It is she comes first. .av. Go to your Instagram quickly, and we'll wait for you. Go on, you can
Yeah,
do it. It's
go on,
okay.
go on. Mhm.
But all of the reels are here. There's loads of different connections, polls, questions, all that stuff is right there. It's really cool. I've watched a few of them. I'm not logging in. Go away, Facebook. Um, we're going to get rid of that now. Oh, look at that. It's fighting with me. Okay. So definitely go and add that to your repertoire because it is something that you're going to appreciate when those reels come bounding into your phone or electronic device that you're watching your Instagram reels on. At she comes first. .av is the address again. Um, And of course, you'll recognize it straight away because this lovely face is waiting for you, and she's going to tell you all about all the experiences that she's having and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
really.
so, Amber, before we finish up, I just want to highlight a couple more things. Number one, perimenopause is a real thing. It can be misdiagnosed, and some people may be told that they have depression and all of this stuff. Is there a definitive way to go, hey, I think I might have perimenopause, Dr. Doolittle? We need to know, like, for sure. I don't want to just take this pill, which you may be right, sir, for your degree that you have in medical science. But I would also like to get this test. Is there something that they can ask for?
Well, no. So, you would think you could get your hormones tested. Men can because yours is declining. So you could
Hey,
find out
don't
your
pick. Oh, hey, 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 hey. Come on, shots fired. No need to pick on me.
I mean,
I'm on your team
we're
here.
hoping you get softer with the testosterone coming down. That's why
Hmm.
older men are softer, right?
Right,
Not
sure.
softer in the we don't want soft, we want hard, but you know what I mean.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes. So there's not. So with women, our hormones are up and down. So there isn't really a good day to get blood work done to look at your hormones. I mean, ideally, you could do it around menstruation,
Hmm.
but it still really isn't a tell. It isn't a tell. Um, but there are things you can do to rule out other things. You can get your thyroid tested. Like my mom at 40, her thyroid was through the roof. It was bad. It was bad, which can also lead to anxiety, mood swings, hair loss. The same as perimenopause. PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome, which a lot of women are diagnosed with.
Hmm. Hmm.
A lot of those symptoms can show up the same as in perimenopause, and vice versa, right? So you
Right,
don't want to lean too much on perimenopause and miss something huge.
right,
But so PCOS, when those symptoms are mimicked, it's usually in a younger 30-year-olds. So if you are experiencing these symptoms and you're in your early 30s, you definitely want to check out some other options. Absolutely. And there
right,
are lots of symptom trackers that I would definitely recommend that women do for like through their menstruation, through their ovulation, because that's when the most spikes will happen, and then you can start recognizing, I was a fucking bitch at this
mm,
time, right? So it's keeping track of your symptoms and why they happen, because that could also help differentiate between perimenopause and something else going on.
yeah, okay. That's that is awesome. As you were chatting, I was doing a couple of Google searches on hormone tests for perimenopause, and there are stuff out there, but really it's inconclusive. And so I don't want people to fall for the bait and switch that seems to be out
Yes,
there for a
yes,
lot of things that are not being dealt with directly by medical practitioners everywhere.
yeah.
Um, there is little at home hormone test kits. It's 29 bucks for it to start, and then it's 99 bucks a month and all this kind of stuff. I would go directly to your doctor and just talk to them specifically about the symptoms that you're feeling, and make sure that you're very intentional with your communication. And
Bring in your proof. Bring in your research.
right, right.
Advocate hard.
And generally speaking, while unfortunately, just like going to Starbucks or your favorite coffee shop, the staff that work there are inconsistent, just like doctors can be inconsistent.
Yeah,
So
they're
if you're
human.
not if you're not getting the answers that you want from the doctor that you're seeing currently, I mean, it's covered by insurance. Make sure they're in network and go and see somebody else. It's Getting a second opinion is not against the law. In fact, it is like pushed upon you because it's a great idea. Like,
Yeah,
because
it's encouraged.
it's a big, big, big thing. So, don't suffer in silence. And if you're feeling low and you want to, see light at the end of the tunnel, get on Instagram at shecomesfirst.av, and then you'll see this smiling face who's going through what you are going through and
Feel
has found the light at the end of the tunnel and is talking about it and giving tools to navigate that. And of course, reaching out is also an option. The website, shecomesfirst.ca, it's a big thing. Definitely get on and communicate. But I cannot encourage enough. Seeking medical advice is a big, big piece. Don't just take a pill because they said that you're depressed. If
Mhm.
you feel that is a pretty inconclusive diagnosis, ask questions. That's what
Yeah.
make them work for the $180 they're charging you for the visit. Okay.
Yeah, and it could be depression. It could be,
It
but
could be.
you are
Depression's
right.
major right now, but
Yes,
like
yes.
it just like COVID when it was
Mhm.
going rampant. Like, I have a cough. Oh no, you don't. You got COVID. Well, come on now. Be like, do a little bit of
Yeah, you don't know. Yeah.
right, right. Well, Amber, you're amazing. You're absolutely phenomenal. I appreciate you being on the show and offering your words of wisdom and also what you're doing in your community and anyone that's partaking in the fun things that you're putting on Instagram, even though they are also very informative as well. I think you're bringing to light something that, much like mental health was years ago, it's not really talked about enough.
Yeah.
So I hope and pray that people start paying more attention to their partners and significant others and taking notice and understand that it may not be just that she's in a mood. It might just be that, yeah, it's a mood, all right, but it's something that ain't going away very soon. So we got
Yeah,
to figure it out. So,
they can't carry it all anymore. They need support.
right. And just remember, for better, for worse, remember that. Okay. Anyway,
Or not, just leave, just get out of there, start again,
or run away or run
yeah,
as
yeah.
fast as those legs can carry you.
Mhm,
All
mhm.
right. That has been another wonderful episode of Head Noise Mental Head Podcast. We will have another episode tomorrow. Oh my goodness. And we will definitely have more fun conversations and dive deep into the things that people don't talk enough about. But until then, Amber, once again, thank you so much.
Thanks for having
And
me.
for those who have watched, I appreciate your, what's the word?
Presence,
Presence. Yeah, I guess
shared
viewership,
you
support,
support's
acknowledgement
good.
that I exist. I'm joking, I'm joking.
Yeah, validation.
I appreciate everyone that, is taking something from this. If one person, benefits from these conversations, I've done my piece and what I've set out to do. So, as always, we will talk to you soon and go with grace. Thank you.